Hello to my beautiful collectives out there. Welcome to my channel, Astro Cheryl, and this is your monthly forecast for July 2026. We have made it to half the year just about now, and things are starting to heat up and accelerate as well. So before we get into the personal forecasts, I just want to share with you the upcoming events that are happening for us this month. We have a new moon in the sign of Cancer, and this is happening on July the 14th at 21 degrees. Okay? And we also have Mercury in the sign of Cancer, retrograde, but it will be turning direct on the 23rd, and it'll be in its shadow for another week before it is fully direct. Okay, so we have the lunar nodes that are now in Pisces, on the Pisces Virgo axis, shifting to the Aquarius Leo axis. Okay, and this is a big deal. There's a lot happening with Pluto and Aquarius now, and not only with the North nodes, but during this month, Pluto will conjunct the full moon, and that's in Aquarius, happening on the 29th. Okay, so this is like fated karmic energy that is going to be changing us in some way, with it being in Aquarius and Leo. It's about being or offering more to things that are bigger than who you are, as opposed to Leo is about self, okay, and doing all the things for me kind of energy. But this is some impactful energy that is going to change humanity. There is a transformation that is taking place. And for each of you, this will be happening in a place in your chart where Aquarius sits. Okay? And wherever Aquarius sits, Leo is in opposition 180 degrees from that. So it's going to be affecting Aquarius and Leo. But this is going to be some good change for all of the fixed signs: Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio. And this is going to be for the next 18 months that the shine is going to be on these fixed signs. Okay, so be ready so you don't have to get ready. All right, so now we have I did mention Mercury, turning direct, but while Mercury is in retrograde, this is a good time to turn inward and correct or revise, reevaluate what we feel is ready to be released, because this lunation that's coming up on with the full moon and the conjunction with Pluto is a part of that process of letting go of things. Now, this new moon in Cancer on the 14th is setting us up for giving us the opportunity to redefine, home and belonging, our tribe, and connect with our feelings of inner security that comes from within. So you have to be secure within yourself. And this has to do with resetting our central nervous system, okay? And this process happens when we allow ourselves to experience the fear and the pain so we can let go of it. And once we see, feel, and understand what those triggers are or overstand, that's when we can take our power back from those old patterns that we've been bound to, let go of old contracts, vows, oaths, bonds that no longer serve us. So this is this new moon energy starting to set us up for what we need to look at and start to work on so that at the full moon we can start to release, and this energy will stay around for 6 months. But all of this is a process to get us to the next, stage in our own personal evolution, but not only that, the evolution of the collective societies. Okay? So, now that I've given you the overview, let's get into the forecast. So I will see you on the other side. Hello to my beautiful Leo risings out there. Welcome to my channel, Astro Cheryl, and this is your monthly forecast for July 2026. Leo, Leo, Leo. You got a lot going on starting here this month of July. And it's going to go on and on for the next 18 months and even longer. Okay? So I did an overview of what this month looks like. So I'm not going to get in all of the specifics. I'll tell you a bit of what you can expect. Okay? So we have a new moon in the sign of Cancer, and that's July the 14th. The lunar nodes will shift from Pisces, Virgo axis to Aquarius, Leo axis. And keep in mind that Pluto is in the sign of Aquarius, like for a long time right now. Okay, so transformation is starting to show up more and more, and the time is moving a bit faster than we have expected, but we are noticing it. Okay, and then there's a full moon in the sign of Aquarius on the 29th. Okay, and Pluto will conjunct the North Node at that time. Okay, so on the 3rd, we have a square, which is tension, okay? And it's a push and pull energy. And this is in the sign of Jupiter in Leo. Jupiter is in Leo, squaring Chiron in Taurus. And Jupiter is in your first house. So it's expanding everything about who you think you are, how you look, how you feel about yourself, all of that. And of course, Leo, you are prideful, and you know, you want to show it, okay? You show up, okay, because that's you. And then Chiron is the wounded healer. He is here to shed some light on the area in your life that you forgotten that is a wound, okay? And this is happening in your 10th house of public reputation and your career. So, yeah, let's get into it. You may foresee a big career opportunity, promotion, or public spotlight arrive when you're feeling more confident. But old fears, this is the Chiron and Taurus. may crop up about you're not deserving or that your success is temporary. Your impulses to change your image may bring fears about old shame or insecurity about your competence, earnings, or reputation. Okay, so this is all about personal growth and balance. Okay, so recognize what it is that you need to grow from and grow into. All right. Once we recognize those wounds, then we can look at them and say we don't need them and keep moving, okay? Instead of getting stuck in the loop. All right, so July 4th, we have Mars. Mars is an initiating energy. It's going to step in and take charge and think about it later, okay? So Mars in Gemini is conjunct Uranus, and this is like an electric energy, something that happens all of a sudden, unexpectedly, and very fast. And this is happening in your 11th house. And it's also in the sign of Gemini, which is that has that kind of energy as well, like Uranus. It's a nervous energy, and I can say that it's electric, but not as powerful as Uranus energy because Gemini's energy can come off as nervous energy. All right, but it's happening in your 11th house of large groups, large memberships, friend zones, your work groups, and also your hopes and wishes are here. So you may feel restless, excitable, and ready to push projects or social causes forward. Your words and messages can spark big reactions or start sudden shifts in group dynamics. There is a risk of heated confrontations, abrupt exits, or overreactive choices you may later regret. So be mindful here because there is a lot of electric energy that's going on, and Mars is playing its part. And wherever Mars is, there could also be, you know, confrontations. So on the 9th, we have Venus moving into the sign of Virgo, and this is going on in your second house of self worth, your possessions, what you value, your finances, and how you make your money. So this transit tends to make you more selective about your purchases. That's more Virgo energy, being practical and more aware of what is worth your time and energy. You may find pleasure in organizing your finances, simplifying your possessions, and making small but meaningful upgrades. Okay? All right. So on the 20th, we have Jupiter in Leo trining Neptune in Aries. A trine is something that is like a blessing, something you get from God, okay? Jupiter is in the sign of Leo, and that's in your first house, and we've already talked about you there. And Neptune is in your ninth house, and your ninth house is about your higher learning, your belief system, your spiritual beliefs, uh, philosophy, higher learning, teaching, other cultures, other languages, publishing as well. So, Neptune is a deeply soulful energy. It's boundless, so we have to be careful when Neptune is active because we see things that may not really be what we thought it was at that time. So as long as we know how far we're going to go, you set your boundaries and don't go any further, then you'll be okay. And with a trine is like, again, a gift from God. And this is happening in your first house of self and your ninth house of your belief systems, okay? So you may be more drawn to creative, spiritual, or philanthropic pursuits. This can be a special time to launch something that reflects your personal brand that involves teaching, media, travel, or a worldview based message. You may attract opportunities through enthusiasm, authenticity, or belief in a goal that feels larger than you. All right. Now, on the 22nd, the sun, your ego, enters Leo, the pride full energy enters the first house, okay, of self. So your confidence and presence are high. People notice you more and you feel more decisive. This is a good time to get started on projects that need your personal touch. Your vitality and energy rises. Check your ego, and over exerting yourself is a no-no. Okay? So on the 26th, we have the change in the nodes. And I don't even know if I explained the nodes, but the nodes are about direction, our fate, you know, what it is, where we need to be headed, okay? And in each chart, we were born with a north and south node, okay? So that is going to put us on the trajectory where we're headed in our chart. But when this happened as a transit, it's giving us opportunity to go with the flow, go with the flow at that time that the nodes change, okay? Because it's like something that's happening in real time, whereas our birth chart, that's already happened, so that's always going to be the way we go, but we can enhance that as well by using the nodal changes to correct or transform or, anything to make better. So that's what happens. And sometimes, like now, forces are out of our control and we have to move in that direction because this is a fated moment where some transforming energy is coming into play because Pluto is in Aquarius and Pluto is all about transformation and it will break up stuff that has to be, rebuilt because the current foundation may not look right to Pluto. So that's what Pluto is doing now in the sign of Aquarius. And we have this north and south node axis happening in Aquarius. And the entry point is with Cancer, new moon, and we have the full moon in Aquarius on the 29th. And this is happening in the seventh house. And this is the house of relationships, one-on-one relationships, partnerships, business partners, legal contracts, open enemies, which could be, your exes, and family members, of course, are here. So you may have a clear and visible picture of a partner, business associate, or any contractual relationship now. This can mean renewing, renegotiating, or ending arrangements from earlier. You may approach relationship issues more intellectually than emotionally right now. And that's that detaching energy of Aquarius. So the full moon is going to be conjuncting, that is Pluto, is going to be conjuncting the North Node. And this is happening in the seventh house. So this is where this transformative energy is going to be taking place for you, Leo rising. So this is with your relationships, okay? So a meeting or public event that feels fated or timely, opening a new partnership or changing the tone of an existing one is occurring. You may experience an increase in your intuition and experience meaningful synchronicities that are tied to other people. Pay attention to your dreams, messages, or repeated encounters. Okay, so that is just the beginning, but this is happening in your love zone, so you could find a soulmate or a karmic mate that is going to bring you the best. All right, so Leo rising, this is your forecast for July 2026. And until next time, bye for now.